And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome all viewers to the third installment of Crypto Bull, third episode. In today's episode, we are going to analyze the coin APY.Finance, so APY.Finance, a coin which has been, spoken to me in, I believe, last episode in the chat somewhere, or it was through one of the Telegram channels. Anyway, so today's coin we will be analyzing is APY.Finance. How are we going to do this? I'm going to start sharing my screen. We will be doing the analysis through, a set of rules, all retaken in my course, Crypto Bull. It's available on gumroad.com /y/cryptobull. Um, the course itself mostly talks about trading, but has a special dedicated page to recognizing good projects with the ground rules I will be using during this live stream. So this is the actual front page where to invest. On this page, you have the general rules I will be abiding to. So what are we going to look at? Well, we are going to look up its historical value. We want to have a decent project to see an upward trend like the graph you see here on screen. We're going to take a look at the community behind APY.Finance and naturally are going to take a look at its dedicated websites, its newsrooms, its hashtags concerning, the project. Why? Well, a good project to invest in has an active community, has daily or weekly updated news articles, blog posts, etc. Trending hashtags on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, the more the better, and naturally a modern, up-to-date website. How do we start by analyzing this coin? Well, there exist two websites, coinmarketcap.com and CoinGecko. I'm going to use CoinGecko. CoinGecko is a website which lists, all current existing or most current existing cryptocurrency projects. Simply going to look up APY.Finance, and I see here rank number 282. What do we see here? Well, what we see on screen is its actual value, $3.99. That it has lost in value in the last 24 hours, about 15%. What else do we see? Well, we see its market cap, its 24-hour trading volume of about 11 million. A circulating supply, it's always handy to know, 19.124 million coins of the 100 mil. Yeah, that's 100 million coins to ever be produced, so still being mined, which is a good sign. 24-hour low. What else do we see? We see here websites, has two dedicated websites, its own website, and a page probably on medium.com. Explores Etherscan Explorer, which implies it is a token and not necessarily a coin, making use of the Ethereum blockchain. I see there's three community pages, Twitter, Telegram, Discord. More on that later. Naturally, I see here tags, token, as expected when I saw the Explore. Yield aggregator, yield farming, decentralized finance. So it is being connected towards DeFi. Decentralized finance, for those who do not know what it is the bringing about of financial services to the blockchain. So generally, when I see decentralized finance, it's a good indication of, good future growth. Anyway, what interests me more at this point in time, currently, because the episode just started, is the historical value graph. So we've got it here. Oh, small mistake there. Sorry. There we go. Now it's indicating for the last 24 hours. Naturally, I'm someone who likes to see the entire historical value. Why? It brings about a first indication how well a coin is performing. We're going to max it. What do I see here? Started somewhere last year in November, from what it seems. Data indicates 5 November 2020. Start with a low price of $1.10. dropped down and remained at between 20 to 30 cents, and started exploding in value. I'm going to say somewhere probably here. The, Starting from 28 December 2020, very slowly exploded in recent days. As I see here, top values Sunday 14th of February this year, and is going down. Going to zoom out a bit. So 1 year, relatively stable, had a peak. 180 days, same. I see a lot more volatility here. Yeah, this one's much better. So yeah, it has been performing well in the last 2 weeks, which is quite good. But it's the downtrend which is slightly worrying here. So because of the downtrend, consistently so, it might indicate something else is going on and it isn't really moving according to the market. So it might raise some doubts. Anyway, I'm a guy who likes to invest long term. It might be the case I can conclude at the end of this live stream that it's a factual good investment. Currently, it remains in the middle, though it is slightly worrisome that I see here that it peaked and is slowly descending. For what reasons, I do not know. Let's continue here. Exchanges on eToro, Crypto.com, Uniswap, Balancer, Bilaxy. So on a few decentralized exchanges, naturally, because it's a token and hashtag itself indicated that it was connected to DeFi. It's present. About APY.Finance coin. Always love to read those summaries. So today's price is 3.99 plus 24 hours. So they say there's a circulating supply of 19 million API coins with a max supply of 100 million. And it's most active on Uniswap, the second version of it. So it's available most popularly on Uniswap. So what is it? A smart contract protocol that thinks like a robo-advisor for yield farming. So I'm going to highlight this and give a little explanation here. For those who do not know, yield farming is well a method generally used, not a method, but something which is frequently encountered in decentralized finance. What are you going to do? Well, people probably have heard of the concept of staking. That's when you are taking coins from an exchange and stake them, so put them in some sort of savings account. As a result, the exchange can use your coins and it adds additional liquidity to, the coin and the exchange itself. What is yield farming? Well, it's a step further. It implies that you are buying a variety of coins, can be Bitcoin, Ether, API itself, uh, Litecoin, Dogecoin, doesn't matter, and you're transferring it towards another exchange to stake it there by reason they have a much higher interest rate. That's more or less yield farming. So you are trying to maximize the profit from staking or trying to get higher results by moving your funds between different exchanges. That's actually what yield farming is, what APY.Finance does, and that's what I can deduce here from the highlighted quote, is that it's a smart contract which is going to function like a robo-advisor. So it's going to be a bot which is going to advise you how and where the best profits are for yield farming. So, and continues with it offers a single place for users to deposit their tokens, and the protocol will then all the work including liquidity. 1 second. Right. sorry for the inconvenience. So let's continue with the live stream. Didn't expect someone to call here. Anyway, so in a single place. So yeah, bot advisor for yield farming and all the work including liquidity from its user, rebalancing the portfolio. So it's going to function as a bot for yield farming. For the API tokens, always good that it's being mentioned here. Why? There exist various coins and tokens. Some tokens are merely placeholders of value, making use of, well, being built on a different blockchain. Some are governance tokens, which imply that they can hold um, inherent value, but are mostly used on the platform for governance, or to say making changes towards the blockchain, enabling developers to do certain changes on their project. So I'm going to assume, because I'm seeing this here, just the title alone, haven't read it yet, that it's going to, yeah, well, it's actually mentioned here on screen. AP token is APY.Finance native governance token, so it is going to be used for governance. As platform is developed further, will be used to shape the direction of its future. So it's going to be used by developers and users of the platform to make decisions based on the future of the project. So it will be developed in 3 stages. Always nice that they mention it. Most tend to hide a little bit their roadmap. In this case, it seems they're quite open about it, which is a positive point. Stage 1 can vote to change system parameters such as fees and rebalance thresholds. Quite nice. Holders can vote to change the parameters of the strategies such as locking periods and collateralization ratios, can vote for new strategies to be implemented. So yeah, governance token in its entirety. So how does it work? We'll deposit stable coins such as DAI, USD, or USDT into the API liquidity pool. Their stable coins will give an amount. Share of a pool, you can withdraw their funds and yield farming profits at any time back. So yeah, the yield farming is going to be limited towards 3 stable coins here, mainly DAI, USD coin, and USD Tether, so the Tether coin. On the APY.Finance network, it implies that they can start staking these 3 coins, and then that the platform itself will start, how to say, will stake for yield farming on a variety of exchanges, and that the profits will be reimbursed towards the people who staked, well, their amounts of Tether. So yeah, smart contract. Yeah, it's a sort of trading bot with its very own governance tokens here. Advanced strategies isn't smart trading, not just solely with the intention of capitalizing on the highest yield, but also based on the risks involved. So yeah, basically, APY.Finance, the platform, suits for yield farming and does it so automated with 3 stablecoins, mainly DAI, USD coin, and USD Tether, to maximize your yield so you can profit, but it's automated. It's some kind of bot doing the yield farming for you, which only accepts those 3 coins. It also specifies risk will be allocated to capture the upside, but only limited bound to reduce the downside. So yeah, it's about risk assessment here by decentralized exchanges that Balancer or Uniswap. So Balancer, Uniswap tend to be the places to be to get your API tokens. I'm going to scroll upward once again, and we're going to take a look, because we have now scratched down, as indicated here, looking up its historical value. From this, we could deduce that, well, it has had its peak recently, but it has a stable value. Currently bearish, so value is going down. Long term, I do not dare to make up my mind yet, by reason the project still has to evolve, and I haven't done the technical analysis in detail yet, of which I can deduce is it worthwhile to invest in, yes or no. So yeah, continue. I'm going to take a look at the websites. We've got APY.Finance, so the native website, and medium.com. Naturally, always going to look up the mother site, and unlike other previous episodes, this one has loaded quite fast, which is a good sign of being kept up to date, being very active, and I can immediately see here, and scrolling down, that it's, well, tight. It's neatly done, so that's a good indication. Risk management, community owned. You've got pictures of the team here. So CEO Wilda Shazla. Actually, I do not know the names. Now, what I would like to share here, when you see the team, I'm going to say I am known with a variety of projects, and I'm known with quite a lot about cryptocurrency, its basis, its technical analysis, but I am incredibly bad with remembering persons, where they have worked, their names, etc., etc. So people who are good with this and know, for example, Jonathan Gray here from another project, it might give some additional credibility. Generally, I skip it over by reason, well, some people, certainly in scam coins, can be added with fake pictures, fake names, and give a certain sense of credibility. I'm going to admit it's a weakness from my part for not being in the know, all big developers and knowing most by their name. But I'm going to say, well, if there's an indication of a team, it is certainly a plus, I'm going to say, but at the same time, not all too convincing for me. So yeah, we've got, yeah. Also, by knowing their names, which is something I will do later on, by looking up, well, their activity on the social media networks, I'm going to try to always remember those names. But if I see that, well, most of the content on social media is being created by one of these people, it might imply that there's something wrong with the project itself. So anyway, yeah, those are the investors. So CoinGecko has invested in it. It's the main website I'm using. And the capital, going to scroll up, so it looks nice, tidy. Those are the protocols. Oh yeah, so it mentions on which DeFi exchanges protocols it's present. Immediately recognize here Sushi Swap, sorry, few others. That's good. Okay, it's probably going to done. This one piques my interest, the light paper. What's a light paper? Well, it's the same as a white paper, but generally it is a more, how to say, put into plain English, less technical and more interesting for the general user. So I'm going to look up the light paper here. So we already know, new from CoinGecko, it is going to be a bot. In here, they're going to be slightly into more detail how it works. Not going to get into it all too much in detail. Uh, look it up for yourself, scroll in leisure. I'm just going to quick read here and see if something else catches my eye. So catch a growth with single deposit. This is how it works. So in a schematic rebalancing process. So this is the manager, it's the platform itself. Those are the 3 coins and tokens. I like to see that it's being linked towards Chainlink. It's one of my favorites. So making use of these 3 coins on their platform, they are also making use of indirectly Chainlink services, which implies it's a good thing for the Chainlink coin. But anyway, so the manager, yeah, rebalancing. So that's going to be the users here. Strategy, input, compounds, boosted dodo. So yeah, this is where the investments will take place, and the factual technical contracts and algorithms will happen mostly here where I'm circling. Liquidity pool, collection of actual collection contracts, library of strategy, inputs, intermediary assets. So okay, they are going to use the coins and will create an intermediary asset. Much like most DeFi projects work, they will take a coin, like for example Bitcoin, and in order to let it function on an Ethereum blockchain, in order to make transactions, they are going to make an intermediary coin. For example, like wrapped Bitcoin, which is a token but its value being deduced from the amount of Bitcoin backing the coin, so being introduced in cross transactions. So yeah, domain CDI, those are sequences, yield estimates. So yeah, the upcoming strategies, compound, free farming DAI, So yeah, I'm going to skip this part. Liquidity mining program. That's where it concerns mining. Can be very interesting for those who want to mine, but mentioned Ethereum blockchain token, so ERC20 governance token, system-wide parameters. So yeah, everything that we know was already mentioned here on the CoinGecko page. What are AP tokens? So there the explanation was nicely done. Can connect. I'm going to click on it. Aggregator, DeFi robot that optimized for risk adjustment returns using portfolio of yield farming strategies. So yeah, you can get the documents and getting started here. Next one is the Medium page. Like to read those? It's well another dedicated page, I'm going to say, and it tends because that was one thing which lacked a little bit on the main website. I didn't immediately see here a newsroom or well something for the blogs for alpha launch. So yeah, it's still in development sim, or they still need to update this part here. You can get newsletters, which is always good, but the Medium page here is an indication where most news is going to be posted, and from what I can tell, February 11th is the last update here. Or so yeah, there's some regular activity. They give weekly updates, from what I can tell, which is always a good thing. I see Will Shada here, so it's mostly the developers posting it. I see now. Yeah. So yeah, there's weekly updates on their Medium page. Going to see if there's nothing. They have introduced a guide November 5th, 2020. Yeah, okay, that's when it was launched. So since its inception, it has been, well, there have been weekly updates on its Medium page, which is a good sign, which means the developers are active and the project is alive and well. Not going to click on the Ethereum Explorers by reason, well, I'm not going to look up a variety of transactions. I, well, just know that they have a blockchain where you can look up the transactions. What I'm interested in are the communities, Twitter, Telegram, Discord. I'm going to take a look. APY.Finance. So it's their Twitter. 2017 is innovating new ways to make yield farming accessible. Yeah, that's promotion. 12 hours ago, there was an interview. That's their official channel. That one too. Want to see user base. What I talk at MAPT deploys script only integrate. So yeah, they give developments. And they like to recommend it as a trustworthy and reputable decentralized alternative. So there is a blog writing about them. That's a very first indication. And the best risk-adjusted yield for trade by full automating. Yeah. So from what I can tell, it's well on their Twitter page. It's mostly the developers and the social media content being highlighted. Less user interaction. Going to well, they got a lot of likes, few retweets here, for example. Commentaries. I'm going to click on it just to see. So yeah, they have a few questions. Yeah, user activity. Well, active communication tends to be a bit lacking, despite their 11,000 followers. So, it raises a few questions. Going to say it's good that they're active. The project still needs to grow. By reason it was launched in November last year. But yeah, user activity could be better. Now it might be the case they, well, I wanted to say are not as active on Twitter as some other projects, but they tend to be quite active. Regular updates almost daily, from what I can tell. But yeah, probably Twitter isn't their main channel. I like to see Telegram. So this is APY.Finance. It is 1219, 1225. Telegram channel is active. Close it. There we go. They have an active Telegram channel. I scrolled quickly throughout it just to see the activity. Not going to get into detail of the content being shared there. It's an open channel, so you can easily look it up. What is this? This is the Discord channel. 3,363 members, 510 online. We're going to take a quick peek. Checking for updates. Right. I should have updated my Discord channel. Come on. I should learn to better prepare here. There we go. Probot. Where are they? Aha. APY.Finance. Here we go. Much members. Announcements. But the Discord seems to be dead. So yeah, I'm going to close it. So you can start probably resources social, and they're active on Medium. So yeah, when it concerns community, Telegram channel is the place to go to, but I'm afraid most of the community, well, isn't as active as it should. Let me take a quick sip here. So yeah, not all too good points here. Yield farming. I'm going to take a quick peek at Luna Crush. This website assembles all information concerning social media posts concerning, well, a cryptocurrency project. I'm going to take a quick peek. API, let it search. Yeah, there it is. Marco Gomez, influencer. Huh. Yeah, last one was Cosmos. So I've got, well, once again, historical value. Quick key metrics doesn't interest me. Volatility is positive. Market capitalization, it's slightly going upwards once again, but I made a little mistake there. Once again, API. We have it. Dum, 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 dum. Aha. Well, normally I would say, oh, this isn't good. Well, this actually illustrates a little bit my point about the not so active communities. By reason, I have no influences here, and barely any Twitter, Reddit, news, YouTube, Medium. So yeah, I'm going to say it's that low on community activity. Well, there's simply nothing to show here. Naturally, it still is a project in its infancy shows, so that might be a forgiving factor, although, well, I must admit, there should be some community activity attached to the project. By reason, well, the more hyped a project before launches, the better it stands a chance to be, well, the same investment future-wise. By reason, there is big support group backing the project. Up here, from what I can tell, lack of influences, and despite all sources and criteria, even having gone through social media platforms, with only Telegram being the most active, but Discord being dead. Twitter mostly, well, them trumping their horn, not entirely trustful. Um, Additionally to that, well, it's now at $4, still going down, but there was an uptick that I saw. There's a little uptick here, but if I look at long term, they peaked in our back bearish. I'm not entirely convinced if it's going to be a good project to invest in, if it's going to be, say, an advice to invest in it. Despite that, well, one of my general rules is as soon as you see decentralized finance, I made post tweets where I said, well, if you see decentralized finance or anything attached to it, invest in it. Well, it's a general rule and not so much a golden rule. And I have to admit here, this, to me personally, I don't want to burn down all bridges with APY.Finance, but to me, this is a project which needs more maturity. It needs to mature. Myself, I would postpone making an investment in this coin, in this project, or even making use of it. Reason has to do with, well, its youthfulness. As said before, it's quite young. It peaked and probably is a direct result of, well, Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market peaking. So yeah, it needs to have some more maturity. I dare say if I do well, I would be more conclusive after a run of a year or so. So if I start counting down, if I do a new technical analysis on the 17th of February 2022, then I can draw better conclusions because the project and the roadmap have been more fully developed, and I have a much better overview on how this project is working. So yeah, stop sharing. So I will have to conclude that this project, APY.Finance, it might be promising, but from the live stream I've done up until now, I'm not entirely convinced. So it still needs to mature. Look back at it in 2022. Well, I should look back at it at 2022. Now, in itself, a robot for yield farming can be an interesting investment. Myself, own opinion, own choice, I'm not going to invest in it. But I dare say, for those who have taken the risk, hold on to your coins, make use of the platform. At this point in time, you guys will be the very first people doing the tests and having practical experience. Future wise, I think this one has potential to grow. Everything depends on the roadmap. So, yeah, and I see here the commentaries from Michael W. So, doing fine, thank you. Yeah, when I'm showing the screens, I do not immediately see the chat here, so I'm looking up what's in my portfolio. Well, a few coins. I'm not going to share it. That's a question you better can ask with my other live stream with Abu American on Blockchain Bros. So yeah. So just like any other projects, I'm going to wrap this one up. It's a short one, half an hour approximately. So once again, going to conclude what I think about this coin. Probably has future potential. If you have invested in it or are making use of the platform, keep doing so, for I think there is good potential in it. At this point in time, me myself, I'm going to stay out of it by reason that in my mind it still needs more maturity. It still needs to develop. So yeah, since it's being related towards decentralized finance and decentralized services, it might have a bright future ahead. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching. See you in the next episode. I do not have a coin I'm going to do a live stream technical analysis of it yet. Leave one that you want to see analyzed live in the comments below of this YouTube video. And see you guys in the next episode. Have a nice day, guys.